What I was working on today was adapting a blouse to make it longer for Dorothy, because the original blouse kind of finished quite high up, and the pinafore that we found in the costume room that we're going to try and that we're going to use, um, the sides come down longer than the blouse do, and obviously we want it to fit all the way down, because otherwise she'll be on show, and that wouldn't work, because that's not how she would have dressed in the 1930s. So to do that, I looked around and I found the same material that it was originally made out of, and I put it on someone and I measured how much longer would work, what would be a good length to have it, and I did. I didn't do it quite as long as maybe I could have, because there wasn't that much material left to work with, and I needed to spread it out over two of the tops, so I needed to conserve it and make it just long enough rather than adding extra. So I added an extra 9 inches, and the blouse was in 3 panels, so I made 3 more panels, each of them 9 inches long, and the width of each panel with a little bit extra for a seam allowance, so that when I was sewing it, it wouldn't end up smaller, because I hadn't taken into account the amount of extra material that I needed for the seam. And I sewed the 3 panels together first of all, and then I overlocked the edges to make sure that it didn't fray and just keep it really secure. And then I sewed the panels onto the blouse, and the most difficult part with this was trying to get the seams from the bottom panels to line up with the top panels, because I wanted to be in an exact line, and this didn't work as well as I would have liked, but it was quite close. It was close enough that I wouldn't unpick it to do it again, but it's not good enough that I'm completely happy with it. So it was something when I was working on the second one that I was just trying to be more conscious of, and try and fix some of the little mistakes on the other one. And something else that didn't go so well was that my stitching on some of the seams, I turned around the overlocked edge and I sewed along the edge of that, and the stitching on the other side of that looked really quite wobbly and quite wonky. So I really would have liked to have done that a lot straighter and a lot neater. So that was definitely something to consider when moving on to the next one, to try and eliminate that a bit more. And I also added to one of them, I haven't done to the other one and I'm not sure if I will yet, some Velcro, because there's a popper and a Velcro down here, and then I added some more Velcro because it was longer, so the full thing could close. But I don't know if a different closure would be better, so I'm gonna think about the other ways that I could do that now and test it out later. I also looked at gathering some brown materials and different materials that we might be able to use for the lion, and I also looked at finding some kind of Hessian and more textured type fabrics for the scarecrow.